This is the 84th day in the Hamas-Israel war, and I'm Yair Pinto reporting to you from the Gaza Strip. I want to take you behind the scenes of the work in the Gaza Strip. Every day, IDF soldiers fight Hamas terrorists. They find, expose, and take weapons from terror complexes. It is not only means of combat, but also means of communications, maps, computers, anti-tank rockets, terrorist funds, and other special means. As soon as soldiers find a weapon that requires research, they transfer it to a special unit that examines and studies the weapons to know how to deal with it. A weapon can tell you a lot. It can also provide information, strategic information to the state of Israel, such as where it came from and who Hamas is cooperating with. In many Hamas headquarters, we the soldiers also find suitcases full of funds that were used for terrorism. For example, last week, IDF soldiers found 4.2 million Israeli shekels in cash in a suitcase at the home of a terrorist operative. And since the beginning of this war, the IDF found more than 12 million Israeli shekels, and this amount was seized and taken to Israel. Just imagine, Gaza and the Gazan population are so poor and need help, food, water, clothing, but yet Hamas finds the way to provide its militants with money. With these funds and the neglection of the local population, Hamas has created a situation where the most profitable thing in the Gaza Strip is to be a terrorist. This is the best salary, to recruit as many terrorist fighters as possible. That's sick, right? Everywhere they talk about the poor Gazans, but here we see the amount of money that Hamas has invested in establishing a terrorist enterprise, all of which aims to destroy Jewish lives and the state of Israel. I want to help the world understand exactly who and what we are facing here in Israel, to illustrate how Hamas's money actually goes to terrorism, to prove the cynical use it makes of seemingly innocent means. As an example, last week, an M16 rifle was found inside a school. This rifle is found inside a school in Gaza, used as a game for children. An electric mechanism was installed inside it with a button instead of the trigger, so that it fires a laser. This is how you educate the people in the Gaza Strip. That's crazy how Hamas invests in this instead of taking care of the residents and planning a better future for the children. The fighters of the 7th Brigade combat team have been operating in the Khan Yunis area for the past 2 weeks. The fighters located weapons, stockpiles, eliminated many terrorists in encounters and ambushes, and directed aircrafts that conducted targeted attacks from the air. When the forces arrived at the Qatiba Mosque in Khan Yunis, which is belonging to the Hamas terror organization, the fighters identified terror activity from a wide underground infrastructure inside the mosque. In one of the rooms, an explosive device was fired at the troops, and the fighters returned fire while rescuing the wounded soldiers of the battalion and eliminated the terrorists with air support. Additional terrorists who tried to escape from the mosque were also neutralized by Israeli drones and the Israeli Air Force. In addition, during raids on terror infrastructure, the fighters located and confiscated weapons and ammunitions. You wouldn't believe it, but the IDF uncovered inside a mosque textbooks for children. These are meant for coloring, and the content in them is so disturbing. The textbooks for the children inside Gaza explain how to use weapons and how to kill Jews. In the area of Darj Tufa, fighters from the Bislach Brigade destroyed a terrorist infrastructure inside the building from which RPG missiles were launched shortly before at the IDF fighters and their vehicles. After the IDF vehicle was hit, the fighters of the Nacha Brigade directed an Air Force fighter jet to attack the building where the terrorists were located. At the same time, the fighters of the 401 combat team are working and have eliminated terrorists from the land and the air in the last 2 days. During an operation, Hamas terrorists shot at our forces while dressed as women. The forces neutralized the terrorists, and after searching the house from which the shooting emerged, the fighters located many weapons, maps, and important intelligence information.